The film opens with sweeping shots of Sydney's sunlit suburbs. Cecilia Fitzpatrick is introduced, perfect wife, mother, and community leader. Her days are a blur of school runs, Tupperware parties, and TA's meetings. Life seems orderly, almost too perfect. Her husband, John Paul, is away on business, leaving Cecilia in charge. But one ordinary day, she finds a sealed envelope hidden in the attic. The envelope bears chilling words, "To be opened by my wife only in the event of my death." Cecilia laughs nervously at first, unsure if it's romantic or grim. Temptation gnaws at her. Why would John Paul write such a letter? She debates whether to open it, rehearsing reasons to wait. Her eldest daughter notices the envelope, fueling her curiosity. Cecilia places it away, but cannot stop thinking about it. Meanwhile, we meet Tessa Leary returning to Sydney from Melbourne with her young son Liam. Her world has just crumbled. Her husband will confess he's in love with her cousin Felicity. The betrayal drives Tess back to her mother's home. At school, she reconnects with old flame Connor Whitby, now a gym teacher. The spark rekindles between them, though guilt lingers. Tess is caught between grief and dangerous temptation. The third story thread introduces Rachel Crowley, the school secretary. Beneath her polite exterior lies decades of grief. Her daughter Janie was murdered years ago, and Rachel never found peace. She suspects Connor Whitby, though no proof was ever found. Rachel masks her obsession with grandmotherly kindness, but inside, she longs for justice at any cost. Back with Cecilia, the envelope's presence grows heavier. She calls John Paul, asking casually about old papers. His voice tenses. He insists she should never open anything with his name. His reaction alarms her more than the letter itself. When he abruptly cuts the call, Cecilia feels a chill. For the first time, she questions the man she married. During a family dinner, Cecilia watches John Paul closely. He appears normal, smiling, joking with the girls, telling travel stories. But every glance at the attic's direction fills her with dread. The soundtrack swells with unease, the letter burning in her mind. Later that night, when everyone sleeps, she takes the envelope. Her hands tremble as she breaks the seal. The letter reveals John Paul's shocking confession. He killed Janie Crowley years ago, the unsolved murder that haunted Sydney. He describes it as an accident, a mistake born of panic, but the words are cold, deliberate, damning. Cecilia drops the letter, her entire world shattering. The perfect husband she knew is a stranger. Cecilia hides her horror during breakfast, watching John Paul butter toast as though nothing happened. Her daughters chatter innocently, oblivious to the storm inside their mother. Every gesture from John Paul feels sinister now. Cecilia debates whether to go to the police or protect her family's future. Her conscience claws at her. What about Rachel still grieving? Cecilia is trapped in an unbearable silence. Tessa's storyline deepens as she grows closer to Connor. They share late-night walks, laughter, and unspoken longing. Their chemistry ignites, pulling Tess into an affair, but her guilt grows. Rachel watches Connor with suspicion, reading every move. The past and present twist into dangerous knots. For Tess, passion becomes another secret. Rachel receives news her son is moving to New York with her grandson. It's another blow threatening to take away the last joy she has. Her obsession with finding Janie's killer intensifies. She watches Connor more closely, convinced she must act before she loses everything. Her grief sharpens into vengeance. The tension simmers, her path colliding with Cecilia's truth. Cecilia confronts John Paul with the letter. He collapses emotionally, begging her to forgive him. He insists Janie's death was an accident during a teenage mistake. Cecilia recoils, realizing his guilt is real, not paranoia. He pleads for silence, for the sake of their daughters. Cecilia faces the ultimate moral dilemma. John Paul's charm unravels as he reveals past fears. He explains he never intended to kill Janie, only silence her after a kiss. Cecilia is horrified at his selfishness and cowardice. She wonders how she ever trusted him. Yet when she looks at her daughters, she falters. The line between justice and survival blurs. Tessa and Connor's affair heats up, gossip swirling through the school. Rachel interprets Tessa's attention to Connor as proof of his manipulative nature. Her suspicion grows dangerously strong. She quietly watches them, plotting revenge. Tess, meanwhile, feels alive for the first time in weeks, but her joy is fragile, built on secrecy. Rachel finds an opportunity, Connor leaving late after school. She clutches her car keys, fury boiling. Flashbacks of Janie flood her mind, her laughter, her death. Rachel decides Connor must pay tonight. As she follows him, the soundtrack crescendos with dread. A fateful choice looms. Meanwhile, Cecilia tells John Paul she cannot keep his secret forever. He panics, insisting their family will be destroyed if the truth comes out. His desperation grows dangerous, almost threatening. The weight of the secret becomes unbearable. The storylines converge at a school fundraiser. Cecilia, John Paul, Tess, Connor, and Rachel are all present. Tensions buzz beneath cheerful music and decorations. Rachel grips her keys in her pocket, watching Connor. Cecilia eyes her husband, the truth burning in her chest. The night spirals toward tragedy. Rachel mistakes her chance. Connor walks toward the parking lot. She accelerates, intent on running him down. But at the last second, a child darts into the path. It's Cecilia's daughter, Polly, chasing a balloon. Rachel swerves, striking another car. Screams erupt as chaos consumes the night. In the aftermath, Rachel realizes her actions nearly killed an innocent child. She collapses in grief, confessing to bystanders her lifelong obsession. Connor comforts her, denying any role in Janie's death. Cecilia watches, knowing the true killer stands beside her. Her silence twists like a knife. John Paul whispers for her to keep the secret buried. The final act is subdued, heavy with moral ambiguity. Rachel never learns the truth about John Paul. Cecilia chooses her family over justice, sealing her silence. Tess ends her affair, reconciling with Will for Liam's sake. The town moves on, unaware of the real darkness. Only Cecilia carries the unbearable weight. In the closing montage, Cecilia narrates quietly about choices and secrets. We see Rachel holding her grandson, still grieving but calmer. Tess rebuilding trust with her husband. John Paul playing with his daughters, smiling like a family man. And Cecilia staring at the sealed letter again in memory haunted. The screen fades with her whisper, "We'll never know what secrets we might be keeping."